excited to be with you this sunny, warm evening. You know, we are a weekly radio broadcast where we empower individuals for positive living, because a negative mind will never give you a positive life. We are a safe outlet where guests can share their stories of how they have overcome challenges to live their desired life. Storytelling is awesome, and all of us have a story to tell. Our guests share personal life stories from their lived perspective. Because everyone is born into a once-upon-a-lifetime story, we're just looking for our happily ever after. Well, hello, beautiful people, once again, and I hope you all had a spectacular Bermuda Day holiday. I know I did. However, due to my recent injury, I decided to lay low. So no parade, no watching the runners. However, I engaged in hanging out with someone who is Bermudian. However, we come from very different backgrounds, but our common heritage gave us time to be together and blend our worlds lovely together. It was a wonderful experience. So I want to thank my new friend for a memorable Bermuda Day. Well, it's Monday, and every Monday at 7:30 p.m., around 7:30, I apologize for coming on late, but around 7:30, we are here. And tonight is Perspective and Perception with Gianluca, and I'm so happy he's able to join us all the way from, yes, California. He's a busy guy, and we will be continuing our discussion on a very relevant topic: birthing the dream. Think about it. What is that project? What is that plan? What is that lifestyle change that you have and still want to achieve? What is that dream? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So, Gianluca, please greet the beautiful people of It's Been Said from California.
Blessings, beautiful people. You know, it's good to connect back with you on the airwaves. I do miss being there in person, I must say. At least we can connect this way.
Yes. You know, Mom had to figure out a way to do it, because I think the first time we tried to do it with a little phone and the mic, and so yeah, thank God for a JBL speaker.
That's for sure.
Learning the ways. So we've got a great discussion tonight. Birthing the dream. So we're gonna hear more about that. So please listen in if you know someone who needs to kind of get that project going, get that dream, get that entrepreneurship, whatever it is. This is the time to listen in for these wise sage tips. Okay. So our main sponsor for our anniversary party last year was Atlantic Vision Care. And they want to give us some very much needed safety points. So listen up. Our main sponsor says that since Bermuda summer season officially begins on May 24th, this is a great time to remind people about the importance of proper sun protection for their eyes. Especially in a place like Bermuda, where UV exposure is intense and reflected light off the water can be significant. A lot of people think about sunscreen for their skin, but forget that long-term UV exposure can also affect eye health and visual comfort. It's also a timely conversation because we've recently seen the return of Costa sunglasses to Bermuda. After being absent from the market for a couple of years, they've always been especially popular with people involved in boating, fishing, water sports, and outdoor lifestyles because of their lens technology and glare reduction. As an authorized dealer for Costa, AVC, Atlantic Vision Care, just brought in a new prescription and non-prescription stock. So it's nice to see a brand with such a strong following back available locally again. So beautiful people, get those eyes protected. You know, my eye doctor told me that too much sun can accelerate cataracts. That got me getting a pair of sunglasses. So you get yourself a pair of Costas or any good eye protection for this summer fun. So, Gianluca, do you have any sunglasses? I mean, that's kind of a question for somebody.
I actually have a case, a little like glass and leather case that holds all 8 of my sunglasses.
Ooh, 8 sunglasses. Wow. So I guess that was redundant question.
I mean, Truthfully, two of them I really wear the most.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones are kind of there just because I like how they look.
Yeah.
And you never know.
True.
But
Indeed.
I had a photo shoot, and the stylist sourced all these really nice sunglasses. And then I didn't want to give them back. I said, "Can I have them?" And I was like, "Whoa, it's within the budget. If you keep them, it'll cost this much." And I was like, "I'm gonna just keep them."
Hey, you know what? Sunglasses can be really stylish. I mean, I have glasses that tint. So in the dark, when it comes out, I'm inside, they're light. When I go out in the sun, they're there because of that very thing that my eye doctor said about the cataracts. And so thankfully, my last test, there was nothing there. So it's important. I mean, get stylish if you have to, but protect your eyes from the sun. It only makes sense. Wait a minute. We have a caller, Gianluca. Wow.
Okay.
Magic 102.7 FM, you're on the air. Oh, man. They probably were going to tell us about their sunglasses. But that's all right. You can call back, caller. We don't mind because the lines are going to be open all during the show tonight. So it's now time for the monologue. And as we come to the end of May, the end of Heritage Month, Bermuda Heritage Month, I want to remind you beautiful people of what a great island we get to be privileged to belong to. You know, last week my co-host Tariq Tucker read his Ode to Bermuda. It was so fitting and was written with such love and passion for this place we call home. It was also well received by a lot of you beautiful people. And I asked him if I could read it again tonight, just because we're coming to the end of Heritage Month. And just in case some of you missed it. I mean, I am just so proud of this piece of written artwork. So I'm going to read Tariq Tucker, the co-host of Tariq's Variety Show, my Ode to Bermuda. Our culture, our heritage, our history, and the stories yet to be written. To you, Bermuda, my first love, a hidden jewel resting in the Atlantic, a tiny island with a spirit larger than the ocean that surrounds her, where the water shines in shades of blue so beautiful, they seem painted by God himself. Where the sun kisses the sea, where the breeze carries laughter through the neighborhoods, and where island life reminds us to slow down long enough to truly live. Out of all the places in this world, this little island is home. Welcome to Bermuda, the place to be. Some come to drink, some come to vibe, some come to escape the noise of the world for a little while. But we who are from here know Bermuda is more than pink sands and postcards. Bermuda is a feeling, a rhythm, a spirit. You hear it in the laughter on the roadside. You feel it in family cookouts and cup match celebrations. You see it when neighbors greet each other like family. You taste it in the fish sandwiches, the cassava pie, the codfish breakfasts, and the flavors passed down from generation to generation. But if there's one place where the soul of Bermuda reveals itself most, you feel it in the heartbeat of the gumbe. The gumbe is more than a dancer, not just a masquerade, not just feathers, bells, colors, and drums. The gumbe is resistance, remembrance, and liberation in motion. It is the living spirit of a people who survived, endured, adapted, and overcame. The drums carry echoes of Africa, the Caribbean, indigenous roots, and the many cultures that converged here through pain, perseverance, migration, and hope. Every step tells a story. Every whistle, every drumbeat, every movement carries the voices of ancestors who refused to let their spirit die. The gumbe reminds us that we are descendants of kings and queens, children of God, blessed people with a rich heritage and an unbreakable soul. Being Bermudian is more than where you were born. It is how you carry yourself. It is community. It is respect. We value one another. We respect our elders and listen to the wisdom they pass down. We understand that every child is our child, that protecting our youth is a collective responsibility, that it takes a village is not just a slogan. It is a belief written on the hearts of our island people. We look after our neighbors. We show up when someone is hurting. We celebrate together. We mourn together. We stand together. That is Bermuda. We honor the hands that built this island, the craftsmen, the fishermen, the teachers, the dock workers, the mothers and fathers, the storytellers, and every generation that carried Bermuda forward. And all of this, the culture, the resilience, the pride, the music, the food, the love and the memories culminates in the beautiful celebration we call Bermuda Day. A day where the island comes alive. The roads filled with people, the gumbe dance proudly through the streets, majorettes moving with elegance and energy, floats roll by carrying creativity, laughter, and island pride. The sounds of drums echo through the city while the smell of summer fills the air. And for a moment, all of Bermuda beats with one heart. Bermuda Day is more than a parade. It's a remembrance, gratitude, and identity, proudly displayed for all to observe. It is honoring those who came before us, those who built this island with their hands, their sacrifices, their dreams, and their prayers. Those whose names may never appear in history books, but whose lives shaped the Bermuda we know today. It's all also about those with us now, the parents working hard, the artists creating beauty and art, the teachers guiding and educating the youth, the entrepreneurs building the future through business and enterprise, the elders preserving wisdom, and the young people daring to dream beyond what they currently see. And finally, it's about those yet to come, the stories not yet written, the songs not yet sung, the businesses not yet built, the families not yet raised, the leaders not yet discovered, the future generations who will one day inherit this island, add their own chapter to the Bermudian story. So, tonight, let us remember who we are. Not just an island, not just a destination, but a people. Strong, resilient, creative, proud, faithful, and free. Welcome to Bermuda, our home, our heritage, our heart. May we never forget Bermuda lives not only in the land beneath our feet, but in the spirit carried within her people. Wow. Thank you so much, Tariq. I mean, wow. What penmanship. Awesome penmanship. So I just felt that it needed to be read again, because this is Bermuda Heritage Month, and to just be thankful and grateful for all we have in Bermuda. And I can't say any more. I can't say any more. So thank you, Tariq, if you're listening, for letting me read that one more time. Okay, so beautiful people, our telephone lines are going to be open and will remain open throughout the show. So you can call anytime with your questions or comments, and we'll be happy to be able to, let you call in and say what you got to say. All right, Gianluca. Yeah. Amazing. Do you know, we last discussed this very topic almost exactly a year ago, May 26, 2025.
Mercy.
Time has definitely gone quickly.
Too quickly, Brian.
Oh my goodness. And lots of elements have taken place, even to support your dreams and to support my dreams. So, some good stuff. So we're speaking from a different platform. A whole year has gone by, so a whole different platform has been given to us. Interestingly, I had someone who wanted to start a project, I think it was later part of last year, and wanted me to help them. And after some discussion, I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you some questions, and we're going to go over some of the questions because we have started already. And I gave them the first 3 questions of the discussion that we're going to have, Birthing the Dream. Unfortunately, I haven't heard from them yet about the project. It is very mind-consuming when you think about starting something and just to start it. There's some ways that you should start to make sure you get what you want. And many people get stuck. And I think this person got stuck on the first 3 questions, let alone the other 22, which I was going to help them with. But, yeah. So why don't we get started with a quick recap, and you kind of tell us how this came about, the birthing of the dream.
Man, it's funny how this conversation actually started, because it came around the time when we were talking about how you had just started the radio show, and the process it took from the first time you had the idea, you kind of sat on it for a few months, then you finally pulled the trigger, and then even after you started it, you realize that starting it is really just the beginning, you know?
Indeed.
And we try to process all the different steps and hoops and stuff, and I think in that process we came to the concept of how to birth a dream. You know? And it's such an interesting question.
Yeah.
I remember when I first moved to LA and I was doing music full time, you know, I would have friends from college who would hit me up and say, "Hey, Gianluca, how do you make it? How do you make it now?" In my mind, I've never really made it, right? Because
sure.
making it feels like the finish line always gets pushed once you get somewhere, right? But to them, they figured you've achieved something that I haven't achieved yet.
Okay.
In a city that everybody wants to achieve something in. How do you do it?
Right. Yeah.
And I got asked that so many times, and sometimes I was like, do these people really want to know, or are they just curious? Right.
Yeah.
So what I did, I opened up notes in my phone, and I just typed down. I listed out all the things that I thought I needed to know. I listed all the things I had done in a very comprehensive way to get there. So whenever somebody would ask me that question, I'll just copy and paste it.
Hey, but you know, at the end of the day, that's what they were looking for, you know?
But I didn't think it was, because then they didn't ask any questions after that.
Well, here. That's my story. When I came, I don't know what it is what people are looking for. You know, it's almost like they want a magic wand or some sort of soothsayer or some type of, you know, genie thing. Just rub 3 wishes and here you get what you want. I don't know.
Right.
Or, you know, what? And I guess sometimes you have to ask the question, what are you looking for? But when you ask those questions, just tell me, you know? Yeah. It was disappointing that the person didn't come back, but, you know, you never know. Some people just take a little while to get things done. But you're right. People are searching, people are looking. And, you know, as I said in the intro, that it's not just even a business. It's whatever you want to do, whatever you're dreaming to do. There's a method to it. There are questions you have to ask, but the questions are very personable. And, you know, your path is different from my path, is different from somebody else's path, you know? Right. So, now we're going to go over the first, I guess, few questions that we began with briefly. So people who were not part of our show a year ago, even before that, because we finished the second part. But the first question was, who are you? And I remember that kind of floored me, because, you know, you say, well, I know who I am. You know, I've had this space of who I am for quite a while now. You know, I don't have to second guess it. But when you're beginning something like this, the approach is different. Yes. So, as you said, you reflect on your identity beyond titles, because you think, well, I'm this, I'm that, teacher, whatever, you know. You know, and so you looked at things like your values, you know, your lived experiences, your personality, your core beliefs, your personal narrative, because that's going to begin how your dream will start. Because if you're just a mother, then, you know, that's one aspect, but is a mother going to help you with your dream? You know, being a teacher can help you with your dream. You know, these are the titles that you wear. I don't know if you want to say anything more, because I know we wanted to make sure we get to where we need to get to.
Yeah, so I guess we can kind of not comprehensive, like just kind of summarize it a bit, right?
Sure.
So the first couple of questions, right? Who are you, right? And that's important, because this is like laying the foundation, your essence and the perspective that shapes the dream you're birthing, right? Who you are is very important.
Yes.
Like, who are you to this dream, right? That's a level of identity, because if this dream is a sense of your identity, then birthing it it's going to be a bit easier.
Yes, yes.
If this dream is counter your identity, then you're looking at a couple, some extra hurdles that you might have to jump over, right? Another question is, what do you want, right? I onboarded 2 new team members to my company.
Okay.
Actually, this morning, right? And a part of my interview process, when I felt like, okay, this is somebody that I want on my team, I said, what do you want? Oh, I want to help clients. I said, no, please cut all the foolishness. Selfish answer. What do you want? What is a clear desired outcome that benefits you in a personal way? Right? And how is that attached to this company?
Yes, yeah.
Because I need to know that. That lets me know your core motivator, right? So aside from who you are, it's like, what do you want?
Yes.
Right? That's important for the dream. And then obviously, why do you want it?
Yes.
Right? Because what you want kind of gets you motivated and drives you, but that why kind of sustains you.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
It's a deeper investigation of that emotion. Right? Is it rooted in purpose? Is it rooted in healing? Is it rooted in passion? Is it legacy? Is it ego? Is it a need for some external validation? You know, you have to kind of dig deep to uncover the true why.
Yeah.
Because this is going to fuel you through the many different nuances of that journey to birthing a dream.
Yeah, indeed,
You know?
yeah. That why is very important, because I think the what is the surface. You know, what are you looking for? It's almost like a visual thing, but why goes beyond that. It goes deep. It's almost like something that you say, I've got to do it. If I don't do it, I can't shake it off. You know, I'm not going to be able to function unless I get it this way. And that's your why. That's what keeps it running. That's what keeps the fuel into the dream. You know. Okay. Yep. I tell you, I'm speaking from a different platform now.
I'm telling you, because and this is the thing. It's like, and it's kind of like that little story I talked about. Like when somebody's just curious, when you give them the real answer of how to birth a dream, it's overwhelming.
It is.
Because I was just curious. I wanted a little cliff note, like, yeah, well, you know. But I'm like, because you're asking somebody who's actively trying to consistently birth a dream. So you're a curious hobbyist perspective, right, is going to find that it's going to clash with somebody who does this for a living and a life, you know? So it's a different answer.
It is.
I'm an extremist.
Yeah.
So if you ask me how to birth a dream, I'm going to answer what I'm doing right now. And if it's a hobby to you, you're going to be like, all right, bro, that's enough. I'm good. Thank you.
Right. You know, but what people need to realize that if it is your dream, is unique. It's uniquely you. You know, you can't be John Luca. You can't be Cat Wade. You can't. It's uniquely you. So only you can come up with the various aspects of this situation to be able to give what is yours. You know, and sometimes peeling back those layers can be difficult. You know, because most people don't get these questions asked every day. You know, I know that when I meet with my guests, I think one of the last questions I ask is, who are you today? And oftentimes they go through roles. They give me identity. Say, I'm this. I said, no, who are you? And they have to think. And you can tell when people think because their eyes go in a different part of their head. You know, I think it's up in the upper left. Because now it's a part of their brain that they don't really tap into ordinarily. You know?
Right.
And so, you gotta have to sort of, you know, realize that, you know, this is going to take time. It's going to take time, but the payoff is awesome because it's going to be so you, and you're going to love it. No, definitely. So that why is important. And then, I mean, we'll just skim through these ones, but then it's good to know, like, who is the dream benefiting, right? That's important because that's a ripple effect. Yes.
You know, that's the audience or the beneficiary, right? You know, is this dream just for you? Is it for your family? Is it for your friends? Is it for the next generation? Is it for a community of people? And then you kind of start going into auditing into like, well, what do you need? Soft skills, hard skills, capital, resources, and then what do you have versus what you don't have, right? So you start auditing, where your starting points based on what you have. What are the gaps that you have to consider? Who can you pull into your ecosystem or your dream or what in your environment to help fill those gaps? And then you got to ask yourself, like, what will it take to get it?
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
Because, everything has its fair market price. Nothing is truly free.
Yeah.
Right? It's just maybe you're not paying for it, but someone's paying.
Yeah.
So you got to consider the action. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if somebody's thinking of, say, for instance, I want to lose weight. That's my dream. I want to lose weight. That's the thing.
Yep.
Right? So, I think something people do first is they go get the outfit. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go get an exercise outfit. I'm going to go find the best exercise outfit I can find. I don't care how much it costs. This is my game plan. I'm going to look good as I get started. And that's fine. Yeah. Many people do that, but it's just the beginning. And I use that just because that's something that I see. Especially like with females, I'm gonna get me a nice workout suit. Then I get a gym membership, and then I get a personal trainer, Those things help to sort of build on the resources, and then maybe network, maybe find somebody who is exercising too, and they can be your buddy, and you kind of work it out together. But that's just something I was just giving an example for. I mean, there are other examples, but that could be just a smaller dream. Obviously, when you're getting into something of business and entrepreneur, that's another kettle of fish,
But the principles are the same, then, and that's the thing. The principles are the same. Because, for example, that book that we're reading together. 10x is easier than 2x.
Yes.
By Dan Sullivan. Very good book. There's a chapter that talks about breaking habits. And he speaks about an individual who he was doing business with that wanted to quit smoking. Right? And in wanting to quit smoking, he's like, look, my wife and we're going to send you on a 2-week retreat. And this retreat is for people who want to break habit.
Okay. Right.
And it's at a resort. They said no pressure though. If the program is too much, just enjoy the resort. No obligation.
Right.
But he said no. I want to quit. I said okay. So they sent him on the retreat, and he said halfway through the retreat, he said he quickly realized that if he wanted to quit smoking, he would have to get new friends.
There you go.
All his friends smoked together.
Ooh, yes.
He had to get new friends. And then he realized, but even if he didn't get new friends, his friends wouldn't want to hang around him because now you're making us feel self-conscious because you stopped smoking. Indeed. So either you reject us or we reject you, but either way, that's a sacrifice. What is it going to take? So sometimes if your dreams is like, you want to lose weight, but your friends is like, hey, look, man, every Friday night, without fail, we get Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we go Front Street, and we drink beers, and then we watch the game. Right? That's a lot of calories.
Yes.
That's a lot of calories.
Yes.
So you want to lose weight, but what's going to happen to your Friday night ritual?
Yeah.
And like, well, it's just Friday night. It's the weekend. That's fine. But you're not going to drastically change your diet because you're increasing your palate and desire for it.
Yeah, indeed.
Indeed. When you smell chicken on Tuesday, you might eat it because it tastes so good on Friday.
And your mind is thinking about it. So all week you're thinking about your friends. And it's social. It's community, but it comes with a cost.
it comes with a cost. Now, it's not to say it's right or wrong. I'm not advocating.
No.
Advocating.
No, we're not putting on Kentucky Fried Chicken. No.
No. What I'm trying to say is, if your dream is to lose weight, then you have to start looking at that in an objective way.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. What's the other one?
What will it take to get it?
Yeah, what will it take to get it? Exactly. And then and that's where the sacrifices come in, right? Learning curves. But most of all, just be honest and realistic. The more honest you are with yourself, not in a pessimistic way or overly optimistic either, just pragmatic. Like, what would it take, to start? And then, and this is an important one, who do you know who has done it?
Indeed. Well, funny you should say that, because I had a situation, as you know, nobody would know more than you. I recently broke my ankle, and I tell people I had no pain. And you can testify to that. I didn't have any pain with a very severe broken ankle, and I put it down to the fact of my spiritual walk and my request from the God I serve to take care of my foot, since he does that. I asked him to heal it and completely, but I believe the pain was definitely a part of that. But I also spoke to someone about the fact that I gave up added sugar about 1.5 years ago, and I said it reduced my inflammation, and that caught on to this individual who looked at me and said, well, you just had your broken ankle and you're walking and you said you had no pain. I said, yeah, I'm thinking that the lack of sugar a little bit of sugar that I had in my system reduced the inflammation in my body, so it may have reduced the pain. This person followed me to my car. They were just so enthralled by that because they were having physical issues, and I saw what they were consuming on that day, and I said, you've just got a bag full of sugar and you're wondering why you have these issues. Well, I saw them last week, and this was about a month ago, and they're now working out at the gym. They've cut out their sugar. They're like a new person. They're so excited. They hugged me. And that's what I'm saying, who's done it? So your story has an impact for people. I did it. I didn't look any worse because I haven't had any sugar, but I can tell you what my results were by not eating sugar. And they just took it, and they're not got any injuries, but the lifestyle that they've chosen has already made a difference for them. So I just thought I'd share that.
But that's the thing, though. Imagine trying to bust a dream and everyone you talk to ain't done it yet. How's that gonna help you?
Indeed.
They're gonna have an opinion, and they're gonna swear to you that they got the answers, but they never done it before.
No. So so that's important. Who do you know who has done it? Role models, mentors, And I'm telling you, this was a very short conversation. It was for me about 15 minutes in the parking lot. And they were convinced. I could tell, their eyes lit up like, wow. Okay. So.
No. And I'll give you an example. I remember one time I was talking to this musician, right? And he told me, you'll never make it in the music industry because you don't want to play on Friday nights and Saturdays during the day. Like, you'll never make it. Right? Because I decided to keep subtle.
Right, yeah.
And it's accurate in the sense that he's never done it. So from his perspective and his understanding of the industry, then I would never make it.
Right.
But here it is, almost 10 years later, and I still get booked to play as a professional. In fact, without even asking for it, I just got a weekly residency on Sundays at one of the top club lounges in downtown LA.
Look at that. Imagine that. Yeah.
And guess what? It's not on a Friday night or Saturday.
Like there aren't other days of the week.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Who do you know
someone
who's
done it already?
Yes. Yeah. That's important. Yeah.
And if your dream is so different that nobody's ever done it, find somebody who's birthed a dream that nobody else has ever done.
Yeah. Somebody with a similar mindset of doing
exactly
something very, very different. Indeed. That's important. That's very important. All right. So let's move on. Where else can you find the information you need, and where do you need to be to increase its possibility?
Yeah. You know, proximity and access is such an important thing.
Yeah.
Now, what is your understanding of that?
About where else can you find the information you need, or where?
Yeah. Well, proximity and access.
Well, for me, I come back to my story of this, coming here to the radio station. This dream that I had to have a radio show began when I lived in the UK, and I happened to work as a phlebotomist, and I had no idea that Magic 102.7 FM was right next door to my working environment. I did not know where it was. I didn't know where Magic Studios were. I didn't know until Mr. Blakeney parked his car in the parking lot, and I asked my boss, like, why is this guy parking his car here and he's not coming in to get his bloods done or any type of testing? He says, oh, that's Glenn Blakeney, who owns the radio station next door. I said, what? So I guess, I just hunted him down, and voila, here I am. So the proximity for what I want to do is here, but you can sometimes, even within your immediate circle, you don't have to sort of have this space. You can find those things that you need. For now that I'm looking at to more entrepreneurship, it's about books. I'm not a business person, so you've given me access to books. And because I'm now liking what I'm doing, because it's somewhat entrepreneurship, the books are making sense. They're more applicable to me and what I'm doing, and they're giving me knowledge, and they're giving me skill sets, and they're giving me tools to work with.
Right.
Even meeting people, some of my guests who've come on are entrepreneurs, and hearing their stories, oh my goodness, it's been just very encouraging. So that's kind of where I'm thinking in the space wise. And yeah, that's
but even like, for example, I would say your conversations are different. The work environment where you are now, you get to engage with entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, business owners, and these sort of stuff. And because you're around them, talking about proximity, right? You're getting these different sort of like perspectives on opportunity.
Yeah.
And because you're hearing it, it's now causing your perspectives to change as well.
Indeed. Yep.
And as that changes, things that you might have seen one way before, right, is different. Some people say vision is the ability to see things that other people aren't looking for.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
vision.
And
not sight. Sight is just being able to see.
Right.
Vision is able to see things in places where other people are not looking for them.
Yeah.
It's within their sight, but they don't see it because they don't have the vision or the desire to look for it.
No. And they could walk right by it, or the conversation would just go right by, and they wouldn't pick it up. They wouldn't understand it because they can't attach anything to it. But if you're keeping that dream alive, the things that need to come to you will stick to it. And you will see it, as you say, from a vision standpoint. It's not there in front of you, but from a vision standpoint, you have it. Yep, that's where I'm going with this, that information. So yeah, it's a whole different mindset. You change, you definitely change from that sense of being a very good, solid, employee of an institution or business to somebody who says, listen, I'm going to stand up and brand myself. And I love that word, branding. You know, what is your brand? Who are you? Who do you represent? You know, that's where it starts. Even if you are working for a company, even if you are if you're a plumber and you work for a plumbing company, what's your brand as a plumber? You know, you work for a certain plumbing company, but you are that plumber because of what you put forward in your work, in your skill set. So that one day you may have your own plumbing company because that's who you are. You know?
Exactly.
All right. So where are we now? Where do you need to be to increase its possibility? Did we cover that? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's all that proximity and access.
And then 13 was who do you need? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, before we move on, you know, it's funny. Like I don't know if you mind me bringing this up on radio, but
hey, radio. It's been said. You can say it.
Come on, it's been said, right? You know, we don't pull punches here.
Not on this show. No.
Not on this show. But that being said, you know, yesterday we were chatting, and you was telling me like, you know, Gianluca, I was in this scenario. Somebody had engaged with me. And I don't know. You want to tell a story? I think you.
Oh yes. So I was at an event, a very, very lovely event, and it was a number of people there talking and sharing, and it was an eating event, and then there was a speaker. It was most enjoyable. And after the event, the president of the group, the institution,
right,
came to me and was chatting about what the group does. Their focus is on communication, especially within the English language, and they support a lot of young people through debating and that sort of thing. And I was just enthralled by the fact that she had come and speak to me, because I was just a guest there, and there was a lot of people there. But she came to me and she started speaking about my radio show, and you know, that's what you do, communication. And I said, yes, it's what I do. And she said, when do you come on? And I was just talking about the show, and then so asking her about what she, you know, and thanking her for what she does for the young people, whatever. And then our conversation ended. And I went home and I was talking to the friend that I had met the following day, and it dawned on me that I missed an opportunity to network. I just thought it was a conversation of conversations, you know, just talking to get. But this particular individual had saw the worth and the wealth and the opportunity of me having a radio show to support what she was doing as far as communication. And I didn't get it. I did not see it, but I saw it after. So hopefully she's seen my email and we can connect. So yeah, so what my own thinking was this, it's just a little social get together. She's just happy to see me there or whatever. But no, it was truly for networking. So yeah, that was an opportunity. But I because Bermuda's small, you can connect with people for that. But I never would have thought of that otherwise, ever. But that's the value of what I have.
What would you say has changed your perspective, right? Because now you look at the scenario where your old habit was, sure, hello, we're not directly connected, hi and bye. But this new habit of perspective you're moving into is like, wait. I need to be a bit more present in these new interactions, so I can be mindful of opportunities to birth a dream.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So what would you say has begun to change your perspective, where you're seeing similar scenarios, but from a different angle now?
Because I see the value of what I have become. The value of the radio show, the value of communication, the value of what my dream has been, to be able to give people the opportunity to speak of their stories, to be able to tell them their stories, to be able to get on the radio and be brave enough and courageous enough to say that in this type of environment, that she didn't see me as Cat Wade. She saw me as a radio show host that speaks. And so even though I had the dream, I now have to believe in my dream and know this dream is now me, you know? So it's that wearing the different hats, even though I do it and I'm able to sort of present every week. It's now incorporating that as to who I am. And then networking. And I don't know how I got away with that, because when you were in Bermuda, that's all you did was network. You got a master's in networking. I'm still on, 101 networking. But I think that's basically how I see it. That's a different platform. That's what I'm saying. That's a different platform. I definitely wouldn't have had it a year ago. But now, even though it was, a day late, I still got it. I still saw what I could have done. So.
Yeah. No, it's great. And that's because perspective and proximity have to work together. Because you can be in proximity of opportunity, but if your perspective doesn't notice or acknowledge it, then the proximity cancels out.
Yes, very much so. Yep, just like that.
Just like that. And that's why it's important for you to kind of notice both. It's like, oh, I need access to resources. But maybe you already do have access. Maybe you have proximity to access, but your perspective isn't allowing you to capitalize on it.
Indeed. Indeed.
So I thought that was really cool that you even mentioned that, because that helped me to see, like, wow, like mommy's really kind of leaning into this new identity that her dream is now birthing within her.
Yeah. Yep. Indeed.
Because you got to understand, just as much as you affect the birthing of your dream will change you too.
Yes. And that proximity of whoever's in that area, see it.
Yeah.
And they can help you to solidify the platform that you need, a solid platform. That's why the foundation is so important. Who are you? What do you want? Why do you want it? So those things are there all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. A little bit of sharing there on It's Been Said. Yeah, we are birthing the dream tonight, people. If you want to give us a call and just come in on the conversation, 297-1027, or if you're calling from overseas, 1-888-257-9086. So we move along. What's our next?
I think today we're actually starting on this, right? So for those wondering how to birth a dream, we created a list of 25 questions. Right? 25 questions. We just kind of gave you a top-level summary of the questions we've covered in the 2 previous shows that we dedicated to this, and it took us almost 40 minutes, but that's okay.
Sorry!
But today, we're going to heavily focus on questions 13 to 19.
Okay.
Right?
Yep, that's the plan.
13 to 19. That's what we're going to cover.
Yeah, in the next half an hour.
So, for the next half an hour. All right, so I'm going to ask you this question, and you answer first.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Sure.
You answer first from your perspective, right? So, who do you need to surround yourself with to increase its possibility?
Okay, so I'm going to speak from the standpoint of more. We have a caller. Shall we take the caller?
Please, let's do that.
Magic 102.7 FM. You're on the air.
Hey, Kat.
Hey. Yes.
What's up? How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Yes, this is Tariq's variety show.
What Tariq? What you saying?
What's good, bruh? It's the man of the hour himself. It's just calling to give you guys a shout out. I'm listening in. I appreciate the conversation, and I'm making sure I take my notes on everything that's being shared.
Okay.
And I also wanted to thank you, Kat, for reading my Ode to Bermuda again for anybody who didn't get to hear it the first time.
No, and let me say, I copied it out in all of its colors, so it wasn't just the black and white. It was so beautifully put together. I mean, that thing is just awesome. So yeah, that's a dream right there. That's birthing the dream, Tariq. That's something.
I'd say so. Being able to articulate it And thank you again for giving me the platform to actually put it out there and for people to absorb it and appreciate it. You know, I give thanks for all of that.
Indeed. Yeah. Most definitely. Well, you got the inside track. We can give you the 25 questions.
Yeah, no, I take a copy for sure.
Okay.
You know, right next to my How to Hijack Reality, I think.
Oh, yes. Indeed. Oh, okay, Drew.
All right, you guys.
Yeah, have a good evening, mate. All right.
You too. Take care.
All right, cool. Yes, indeed. So, let's see. Thank you, Tariq. So, for me, positive people. I mean, that's the name of the theme of the show is a negative mind would never give you a positive life. So for me, I have to surround myself with positive people. And I found that literally it's unbelievable. From the radio station to where I work, to the people that come on, the guests who come on the show, just everywhere. It's just positive people. Second of all, risk takers. People who have gone the extra mile for risks, and I'm very thankful. I work with Mr. Quentin Butterfield, and he's a risk taker, and he tells me his stories all the time of what he had to do to get his business, Central Diagnostics, up to where it is. I mean, he was up in the legislation. He took on insurance companies. I mean, he really had to just go all out, literally by himself. He started in a little room and then expanded where he had three labs around the island. So risk takers, then encouragers. There's some people who just, they're just not got the words that you need to sort of take you to the next step. Encouragers. And I mean spiritual as well as social. And I say that because I met a lady. She's a friend of one of the hosts here at the radio station. She did not know me. And as soon as I walked, and I say spiritual because I'm a spiritual person in an earthly body. That's what I believe. Yeah. That's my thinking. Yeah. And so when someone comes to speak to me on spiritual things, I listen. And this particular individual just literally poured into me. She didn't know me. And she was just laying out things about my life and about what I would be doing and how she didn't know anything about me. And literally, some things she hit on the money. And some things were futuristic. Wow. And it was such a blessing for me. So then there are social people who see me in the street and say, I love your show. I love what you're doing. Bermuda needs it, this and the other. So that's been a good thing. Keep it up. And that's, for me, that's something I need to do. Surround yourself with people to increase the possibility. And sometimes you just surround yourself with you. It don't have to be nobody. Sometimes that positive space is just you. You in nature, you in a space where you can sense who you are in a true light. So yeah.
No, it's true. Also like I was telling a story. I met this guy back in 2017. He was 19 years old. He was actually my mentor's son, and she wanted me to have lunch with her.
Right.
So I talked to this guy, and it was like he was 40 years old.
Well,
like the way he saw it. He was a 7-figure entrepreneur, and he was 19.
Wow.
Right? And I'm like, I said, bro, how are you doing all of this? And he says, I read books. He says, I believe I can pack multiple years into 1 year if I read books that teach me everything somebody learned in their lifetime. Right?
Yeah.
So for his environment, he was not only surrounding himself around physical people, but in his alone time, he was surrounding his mind with the thoughts of authors who he looks up to or who knows stuff about what he's trying to do.
Sure. Makes sense.
So people who elevate you, right? Mentors, allies, creative collaborators, strategists, or sometimes it's emotional support.
Yeah.
Like thankfully my mother is a wise woman, but she's also a licensed counselor. So I'm able to call you and navigate some of the emotions of what I might be going through. But sometimes, like, I'll put it this way. I hired a CPA last year, a new CPA, because I'm trying to grow my business. I need a good CPA.
Sure.
I need a solid CPA, right?
And people need to know what a CPA is, just in case they don't.
Is it a
chartered, certified
public accountant?
There you go. Yeah.
Certified public accountant. So I hired a CPA. I should put the meet them this week. So now I know, cool, my taxes and my finances should be okay. But then yesterday I was researching and I was like, I need a bank manager. Like, I want to start building my business credit. I've been working on my personal credit. My personal credit's good now. Now I need to start building business credit.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, what business credit card should I get next for my company? So I started doing some research, and it's like, well, it sounds like you need a bank advisor, you know? And I'm like, but man, a lot of these bank advisors just want to sell you stuff. Like, they're not really, in my opinion, a lot of them don't work as fiduciaries, or like they're people or lenders who are just trying to get you to get these, you know, what are they called? High limit credit cards.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
So they can charge you a fee. So I did some research and I realized it was a lady who one of my clients introduced me to. So I sent her an email. She works with a small trust bank sort of thing.
Right.
And so I want to set up a meeting with her. So I'm having to surround myself around these people who focus on things and specialize in things that I didn't know about. You know? And for those who like TV, I like watching TV shows that teach me about industries.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Right.
So I watched Silicon Valley. It's a comedy,
Right.
but it talks about the tech space. And a professor actually told me to watch it because I had a tech idea in college. And he was like, you should know how the tech world works. And a fun way to learn is to watch Silicon Valley, this TV show.
Okay.
So I watched Silicon Valley. And then a friend of mine who was really into the legal world said I should watch Suits.
Oh
I
yeah.
watched Suits.
Okay. Yeah.
And I learned about the legal world and how you know, lawyer partnerships are created, and you know, the managing partners and the name partners and the associates and all these things that I wasn't privy to.
Right.
Now I'm watching the show called Billion, which is about this guy who runs a hedge fund. And then the two protagonists are this billionaire who runs a financial firm, a hedge fund, and then a U.S. district attorney who's trying to take him down for white-collar crimes. Right?
Oh my goodness.
So it's an interesting dynamic, but so the billionaire guy, his name is Bobby Axelrod.
Okay.
And he represents someone who comes from humble beginnings on a farm and basically made a name for himself. Right?
Okay.
Had some opportunities, took advantage of some opportunities, and is a self-made billionaire through finance. Right? But he is surrounded by the best in the world. Because he didn't come from that.
Right.
He pays the best lawyers, he pays the best chief operations officer, he pays the best analysts, he hires the best analysts from Ivy League schools, even though he's not from Ivy League.
Right.
But he uses his finances to surround himself around the best.
Yes.
Right? Whereas the district attorney, he comes from inherited proximity to power. You know, his father was a lawyer and came from Ivy League. His father's father was in the law and finance space, came from Ivy League. 3 or 4 generations of Ivy League school graduates.
Wow.
Very different world.
Yeah.
So when he wants to get something done, he can just call his father or one of his father's friends.
Yeah. Family business.
And it's exactly. And it's interesting because who do you need to surround yourself? Sometimes you come with it because it's a part of your family. Other times you have to build it.
Yeah. Yep. That's important. That's important. Very important.
Yeah.
I think one of the other books you got me to read was The Laws of Human Nature. Boy, so when you're going to surround yourself, you make sure you read that book before just to make you know what you're getting, so you don't have to make too many mistakes and have to backtrack. So that's important. That's very, very important. Yeah.
Very.
Okay. So we go on to the next one. Next question. So I'll ask you this one first.
Okay.
What lifestyle must you adapt to increase its possibility? What lifestyle? Now,
lifestyle?
The kind of lifestyle that
And that's why when we go back to that question, to who are you? That's an important question, because sometimes you'll tell somebody like, okay, in order for you to birth this dream, there's this lifestyle change you have to make. And you're like, wait. I can't change who I am. Right? Because they've attached a lifestyle habit to who they are. Sometimes it is you, but most times it's not.
No.
It's who you become.
Yeah.
Or it's the outcome of your habit that you now identify with. But at your core, is that really who you are? If you know who you are, it's easier to make changes. If you don't know who you are, you might attach your identity to the very habit that is a hurdle for your dream.
Indeed. And interesting enough, one of the points I remember from the same book was that we need to examine ourselves when we're in groups, because groups can really sort of push you in a space that is really not you. But, it's a social setting. It's something you've always done, like a Friday night thing, happy hour, or it may be a group setting. And sometimes the groups, because of the power of the group, pushes you toward a lifestyle that you probably wouldn't have moved into otherwise. So knowing yourself is important. So even if you're in the group, you're still aware of what you're going to do in the group and not going to do in the group. So if you have to make a decision that, I can't be in this anymore. Where I'm going, I've got to pull away. It's okay to do it, So yeah, that's very, very interesting, about your energy and where you put focus to in that. I met a guy in my work environment, and he wasn't happy. He talked about his job and what he was doing, and I said, well, what do you really want to do? What is it that you want to be? And he said, I want to be an actor. I said, oh, an actor. I didn't expect that. And I said, well, I started to say, well, why don't you go to Bermuda Dramatic Society, or, they have plays, this place, go check it out and see what's going on. And he said, yeah, I thought about that. But he works for a hospital on shift work. And that type of environment is not going to get him on weekends and for rehearsals and stuff. And I said, well, couldn't you just cut down? No, I've got to make this, and I got to get out this, and I got to support that. So his lifestyle is not going to help his dream, at all. And I felt sorry for him, but you can't work 6 days a week doing shift work and want to be an actor. There's some things that gotta change. So, yeah, it's very unfortunate. So,
and that's it. And also proximity, because acting is one of those things it's a grind.
Yes,
it's a grind, and being able to sit down and speak with people, because most actors make it really through shift work. Truthfully,
they make it what?
Actors, they make it through shift work.
Okay.
Right? So they bartend, or they work at restaurants. Why? If you look at it, most restaurants and bars, open up usually around 3 or 4 or later. Most auditions happen before 3 p.m.
Okay, right.
Most auditions are early in the day.
Unfortunately, he works in a hospital, so it's not going to be like that. That kind of institution. Yeah, but maybe, the thought is if you're okay, obviously he's okay with shift work. But if shift work was like you said, evening time, he could.
If it's working graveyard shift, right? Then all he has to do is to be awake enough to go to auditions and submit them, and he has them. And when he doesn't have them, he can sleep.
Yeah.
You know?
Indeed. Yeah. He may be back. So if it is, I'm going to make that suggestion to him. Definitely make the suggestion to him. Okay. So yeah, I would answer the same way. You know, you're going to have to give up some activities, sacrifice some of those things in order to make those dreams a possibility, in regards to, you know, who you are and what you're about. Okay, so we're on number 50. Sorry.
And I'm gonna give another answer to that, right? So, like for me, I know I take a lot of risks with my business. So I don't live a very lavish lifestyle. I like nice things. I ensure I have what I need. That's nice. But I don't have some sky-rise apartment in the best place in the city that's costing me $7,000 a month to rent. I'm not doing that. You know, I don't drive a BMW or the latest Tesla that's going to run me $800 plus, you know, to $1,000 all-in cost per month to lease and maintain, and then also pay insurance for. I don't do those things. But I have a nice car. It has all the features I want. I have a nice place. It has all the features that I want, but it's in a very specific budget. So I made sure to go out and search very, you know, very focused, diligently, saying, how can I get what I want within this specific price? Because what that does means the less money I spend, the more money I have to take risk. And that's my lifestyle.
Right. You
know? So I adapted my lifestyle to allow me to be an entrepreneur. Right? I was in Bermuda for 5.5 months. I had to continue paying rent in the U.S. for 5.5 months. But because I made sure to find a very affordable place, it doesn't hurt me.
Yeah. Gives you freedom.
It gives me freedom. And because I got a car that was nice, but it didn't hurt me financially, I could continue making my payments to my car while in Bermuda, and it didn't hurt me.
Right. Yeah.
Rather than trying to, can I rent out my car? Can I sublet my apartment? Oh man, I got to figure this out because of lifestyle.
Yeah,
I've created a lifestyle that gives me the flexibility to birth a dream.
And that's it. You're birthing the dream. The dream will come, but this is in the initial stages of doing this. You know.
Yeah.
And things can adapt as you go along, but setting the foundation is important because it's discipline. It's about discipline. You know, saying no to this and yes to that. Very, very, very much so. It may be scary too. Some people get a little fearful, you know, making these changes. Like, what does this mean? But we go back to the first questions. Who are you?
Yeah.
What do you want? You know? And so if you know this is you, then you know you can get through it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, but overall, like high-level overview is your daily habits, your routine, your health choices, your work patterns, and your environment. Okay, next question. I'm going to ask you, what skills must you develop to increase its possibility?
ChatGPT.
the skill of understanding AI.
Yes. I had to put it out there. My show is still very much me. But there is that AI, possibility, that AI resource that's there. And it was scary at first. Somebody introduced me to ChatGPT on a very scary level. And I didn't want anything to do with it. I said, oh, no. That's like another brain. I only have one brain. I don't need another brain to work with. I don't know what's going to come out of it. But, I think the skills that I developed was networking. That's one of the things. Marketing, sales. Yeah. I'm having to develop these elements, something that I've not done before, but I'm not adverse to it like I used to be. It's there. It's all part of this sense of creating this new environment for yourself, this sense of knowing who you are, so that these things can be a part of your everyday activities, and you think about them as you go from movements to people to environments. It's not just it's like okay, I've got to do sales, I've got to market myself. No, you're doing it all the time. So when it comes, it's there. But just those are the skills. So networking, sales, marketing, AI, that element, and obviously the reading that I do to increase my entrepreneurship and business sense. Those are the skills.
No, that's incredible. I think, and it's important because it's like, when you look into what skills do you need to develop, right? When you're trying to birth a dream, living in cities like LA help you realize that a lot of other people are trying to birth a dream too.
I can imagine.
And the question is, why do you get to do it and they don't? Or why do they get to do it before you do? Or why do you get to do it before they do?
Right.
And a lot of it can be based on skills.
Yeah.
You're just able to do more with less. And because you can do more with less, you can move past them.
Right. Yeah.
On my own, I could do many things. I could do voiceovers. I could produce music. I could record a video. I could edit a video. I could build a website. I could do graphic design. I could create a proposal. You see what I'm saying? I could design the functionality of an app. I could write a speech. I could do all these things without hiring anybody.
Right.
So what might cost you $40,000 investment, I'll do all myself. Yeah. So while you're out raising money to get people to do what you need, I'm already doing it.
Right. Indeed. Yep.
So, and I've had to learn skills because my dream requires a lot of different things. And if I had to pay for everything I needed, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Indeed. But I want to say this. So you are younger than me. So some things you probably have to learn. And you've done so. Because of my age, I have a lot of skill sets. But I've used them in a way to help the jobs that I was in. Whether it be a social worker or a nurse or a teacher or a counselor, whatever. So I learned these skills, and they were always to help whatever entity I was working for. Now that I'm trying to create something for myself, how do I garner all those skills that I have that are in my backpack to now make them work for me? So the skill set I'm developed is how to get all that I have to make it more applicable for what I want. I did it for other things to get a salary, but now how do I harness all that so that it's more, in line with what I want? So, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
And that's the thing, because so the books you're reading, right? Like 10x using 2x. What's the other book you're reading again? Sorry.
Laws of Human Nature.
The Laws of Human Nature, right? This is about strategic thinking. Right? So you have hard skills and you have soft skills.
Right.
A part of a soft skill is strategic thinking. So you've acquired all these individual skills that have, for the most part, they've worked in silos, right? They've all been like, well, this skill is specifically for this job.
Yeah.
This skill is specifically for this thing. But now you're in a place where you need the skill, or to develop the skill of strategic thinking, so now you can bring all your skills under the same umbrella to work for you.
Indeed. Yeah.
And that's a part of you. But the beautiful thing about that is that you have all the pieces. All you are looking for now is just the glue.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, you're right. So if you are a social worker, then you have pieces of the puzzle you put together. So when you turn the box over, oh, that's what I'm going to look like, a social worker. Or if you have the pieces of the puzzle for a nurse, oh, that's what I look like a nurse. But now you've got to find all those pieces together so it looks like what you want.
Yeah.
And it's all possible. When you put the box over, you think, yes, it's exactly what I wanted. Yes, that's it right there. So, yeah, indeed. Very nice.
Now, I'll say this though, right? Now we've been talking about all these lovely things. How do you increase it? But it comes down to another thing. What timeline are you giving yourself to get it?
Well, I tend to offset my timelines by doing my sense of availability for the various things that I need to get done. So I don't have a fixed timeline to say by this date I'm going to achieve that. I don't have that. I did have it for the inception of the radio show and for the anniversary party and things like that. But I don't have a fixed timeline. I know within my sense of drive that the opportunity will come when this will happen, and how it will happen, I will know. So, yeah, I don't have a timeline in a sense of saying that, I like to celebrate milestones. So I look at milestones, I look at achievements, and I say, okay, fine, that's where I'm at. There are a couple of projects that you and I are working on. I've told you about, and I haven't set a timeline, but things are moving. So yeah. I'm not one to sort of say yes in 6 months, 3 months. So this book, 2 times, 10 times, I think it's going to help me with that. Definitely help.
Exactly. And another
definitely help me with that.
Dreams can be daunting if the timeline is infinite. Right? Because you just have like this arbitrary goal that needs to happen at some arbitrary time, and we're just giving ourselves a lifetime of moments to achieve. It's a lot. I like to make 1 month to 3 month plan. And then break them down into day by day or time blocks of 2 hours.
Right.
Because that allows you to build momentum. Realistic timelines, checkpoints.
Yeah.
Milestones and checkpoints. It's not rigid deadline, but pacing yourself across these checkpoints and milestones that you can measure. Okay, I did this for 2 weeks straight. I can reflect on it. What worked? What didn't work? What can I change? What can I improve? Great. 2 more weeks.
Right.
And over time, you start seeing that, right? Great. Now, what must you do to support your ability to do all the above?
Right, indeed.
That's a big question. What must you do to support your ability to do all the above?
Well, one of the things is boundaries. You can't take on everything and everybody. Sometimes there has to be that close the door element on certain things. Sometimes you need that sense of I'm okay, but so far and no more. Boundaries, definitely. And like you said, finances. Bermuda is expensive. Ain't no doubt about it. But you can live lean. I'm not saying if you got, mouths to feed children and stuff like that, but you can make it. I mean, one of the things I've done, like I said, changing of lifestyle is how I eat, and cravings for certain foods are not there anymore because I don't eat the sugar. So, I can go, there's in one of the stores on Front Street, they have something called bulgur wheat. It costs $3.45 for a big bag of this wheat that you can soak, and it's like a cereal. It's very filling, it's low, lowers your blood sugar, and it's very, very, inexpensive. So it's finances, finding ways to just sort of say, so that you can put it into the project that you want. So you can put it into the dream that you want, so you're not forced into something to say, wow, I got to live this way, I got to live that way, And, one day you will have the ability to go and get what you want. But definitely, and that sense of, maintaining this kind of relationships that are going to help you to be fresh. You know, some situations just become stagnant. You know, you think like, okay, where is this going? It's not helping me. Like I said, this weekend I was able to meet with somebody I'd never met before in a sense like that, and just being in that environment was so refreshing because I had to, and it wasn't a forced thing. It wasn't like I had to sort of make up stories. It was just relaxing, getting to know someone who we had really nothing in common, except for the fact we like gardening. And so that brought us together. But 2 hours of conversation about everything was just so relaxing. Looking for the freshness in life, you know? To support what you're doing. So that keeps your dreams and your creativity alive.
Pardon?
It keeps your dreams and your creativity alive to continue to build that dream, you know? What about you? What do you have to do to support all the above?
For me, it's my morning routine. You know, every morning I wake up, I take a shower. After my shower, I warm up some ginger lemon tea. I let it soak. I meditate for 11 minutes. And then after I meditate, I read a page out of my devotional. I read a chapter in the Bible. On the weekend, I'll journal. And then if I have some extra time after, I'll read a couple of pages of a book that I'm currently reading. And then after I do all of that, if I have some more time, I might just meditate for 3 more minutes just to kind of like close out that space. Then I open up my agenda book. I open up my phone calendar. I look at what I gotta do. I time block for the whole day. So I'll time block from whatever time I'm starting my day all the way till about 8 or 9 o'clock.
Sure.
To end my day. And then once I time block everything, I open up my laptop and I start my first meeting or I start my first assignment. You know?
Okay.
And that's how I start my day. And then as I'm starting my first assignment, I'm sipping on my tea that's been soaking for the last, 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But that sustains me.
Yeah.
That's like every morning I wake up and I'm not stressed because I'm not waking and my phone's on airplane mode all the way until I finish writing out my agenda for the day. Once I'm done that, then I take my phone off airplane mode. I might respond to some of my messages to my friends or something. I might look at a little funny video or two for 5 minutes. Right. I'll get to work.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's very, 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 very important. That you keep that discipline, that sense of resilience. So if anything comes your way, you've already buffered yourself. With those things that are strengthening, and you and I are very much into the spiritual side of things. Taking time to thank the Creator God for giving you this life, this ability to be able to dream, because that's who gives us that. That ability. Now we have to wrap this up, Gianluca, and we only reached we're a little short of our numbers. We
got to question 17. That's fine.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, 17. But it's very interesting because, like you said, I'm on a different platform, and I can hear my answers. I can hear my sense of the confidence in where this is going, and it's not some sort of new fandangle thing that I haven't been able to adapt to. And once again, I think we have been blessed with your wisdom, your wealth of information that we've shared, and I'm hoping the beautiful people have truly enjoyed this conversation tonight and what we've shared. We've had some shared experiences, and we've been able to share from our standpoint, our stories.
Of course.
Always so very insightful. You are living what we discussed, and although knowledge is helpful, real world experience is best. when we're doing this. So we'll finish this off in July, because I'm not going to be here for most of June, beautiful people. But we're going to have some great repeats, but I'll be talking about that further on. So I can't wait until we bring this all together to a close to get to question 25. So thank you, Gianluca. Thank you. Thank
you for your wisdom. Thank you for the platform you created. And we will continue.
Indeed.
Birthing dreams.
And please, beautiful people, Earth to Bermuda from Tariq, we talked about birthing their dream. We are blessed to be on this island, and there's so much that we can put out from it. So thank you, Gianluca. You continue to enjoy California, and you be safe, and we'll talk again soon. All right?
Thank you. Sounds good. I'll check you later.
All right. Take care. Bye.
All right. Bye.
So thank you, beautiful people, for listening once again to It's Been Said. You know, everyone is born into their once upon a lifetime story, and we live to experience our happily ever after. What about you? Thank you for listening in. And if you have a story and you believe it's uplifting, send me an email at itsbeensaid@gmail.com, and we'll get in contact with you. And you can follow us now on Facebook, It's Been Said with Cat Wade, and on Instagram, It's Been Said with Cat Wade. Next week is going to be just as special. We meet together every week to hear everyday stories of ordinary people who have overcome challenges to live extraordinary lives. Because as we say, a negative mind will never give you a positive life. So until next time, stay positive. Yeah.
Bermuda Live on YouTube. Subscribe now.